I had other videos in the making, but after seeing The Fallout starring Jenna Ortega, I have to drop everything else and talk about this one.
Had to.
Initially, the movie caught my eyes when I learned that Phineas will be the composer of the film, but my god, every other aspect of the film is just as good as the score. The movie tells the story of how a young girl, after surviving a horrible tragedy, is struggling to cope with her feelings. After the tragedy, she starts to shoot herself out from everything and everyone, going through some special experiences and doing things she never did before to deal with the trauma. Her reactions towards the trauma don't just affect her life, but the life of others around her as well. We follow her going through a tough emotional journey to finally find peace and heal. My favorite aspect of the movie is the pacing. The movie progresses at just the right speed on every scene, never overstaying its welcome, and the filmmaker understands the level of importance on every scene. Everything shown to the audience is integral to the story and no scenes are expendable. This makes the viewing experience very enjoyable as not a single scene is dull or less interesting. The duration of every scene is also controlled at just the right length. If the scene needs more time to let the emotion settle in, it will drag on long enough, but never too long. And if the scene has already delivered the message it needs, it moves on to the next. Everything is pasted perfectly in the movie. The tone of the movie is very consistent as well. There are hard-hitting moments and funny moments, but all those are blended together very well through subtlety by making all of them fit with the characters. Whenever they cry, argue, or just straight up being funny, they are all reasonable actions for the characters at the right moment. It all just comes down to the brilliant writing. The movie also feels simple, but genuine and authentic. The dialogue may seem relatively simple, but this not only fits the characters, the teenagers, but also makes everything real and straight to the point. No one is talking in riddles or trying to sound like some philosopher to convey their feelings. Everyone just says what is on their mind, which makes every feeling hits harder on the audience and makes them feel more like a real person and more likable. The film is also beautifully shot. The camera work, lighting, sound design, score, and the music choices are all perfect. The lighting especially is great. The lighting is pretty bright when the characters are not in pain or feeling down. But when the downtime comes, the lighting starts to get darker and more colorful when they are doing something that they themselves are confused about as well. The movie is basically a single storyline film. The audience follows Veda throughout the entire movie, and Jenna Ortega is amazing in the film. Due to the character's nature, Jenna has to subtly convey the character's emotion, hiding the pain when she doesn't even know she is in pain. All of that is perfectly brought to life by Jenna. You feel sorry for what she has been through, but you won't blame her for doing something bad when someone else uses this horrible experience and turns it into something good. You feel for her, rooting for her to stop battling her emotion and just let go. Face her own feelings instead of pretending it doesn't hurt. A single storyline structure means less screen time for other characters, but with such talent, every side character feels more precious when they are all given great performances. None of them in particular steals the show. They all do a great job as side characters to help Veda heal. And with such a small amount of screen time, every character feels just as real and likable as Veda. Spoiler warning here, if you don't want spoilers of any kind, I will be talking about the final scene for a bit, so you can jump to the next part of the video using the timestamp below. After making all the right choices, the final scene hits even harder when Veda faces a similar trauma one more time. Side note, really, Apple? A specific notification about a shootout at school to a user who recently been through similar trauma?
So it learns information about me? Seems like an invasion of privacy.
Talking about spying on your user, man.
I don't believe in government.
That's unethical. Again, the camera work is brilliant as it stays still while Vada moves out of the screen. We can hear her crying, but we can't see her. Then the movie ends. There is no better ending than this. She cries when the same thing happens again. This shows that she has completely healed after going through the journey in the movie, and now she can feel again. We don't need to see her crying on screen, but the knowledge of her crying is already enough. You know how great movies in the past are always better because they don't have all those technology as distractions or making the stories about the technology itself? Well, this one is as good as those old movies despite having written text all over the screen all the time. Those texts have their purpose and are used to full potential instead of feeling new and modern. In short, the movie is perfect in every way. The story is short but full of life, which makes the audience feel something. I don't have anything negative to say about the film. It is perfect. I enjoyed it very much. If you like a light-hearted story that deals with serious issues, or just want to enjoy a well-made film, this is the one. Absolutely brilliant. Great movie. Thank you for watching. See you next time.